BSA Lightning XL SE, not GRT. This is a spring version. Long-term viewers may remember that I've had a bit of a love-hate relationship with this gun. It really fought me during the rebuild, but we got there in the end, and it did start chucking out some decent results. So, perfect, yeah, great gun. Not bad. There are just a couple of improvement points left to go. Number one, the butt pad. It's very hard and it's just in the wrong place for me, so chuck an adjustable one on there. And point two is the scopes. Because they come with this rail, this recoil absorbing rail, apparently recoil absorbing, that jacks up the mounting point. Then of course you want to fit a one-piece base because there's still quite a shot goes through these, so it's better for the scope to fit a one piece, and that makes it really high. Now, long-term viewers again may remember that I did a review on a Sportsmatch scope mount, extra low one-piece base, that wouldn't work with a scope because of the shape of it. I'll go and grab it. Really should remember being in the Scouts and the whole be prepared motto. One of these days maybe, who knows. So as you can see with this base, really not got much distance there between the bottom of the ring and the top of, I'm going to call it the saddle for want of a better description. So then when you've got your scope there, and you've got your bulge in the body, technical terms, everybody loves technical terms, where the turrets are, and that sits on it and it rocks from side to side because it doesn't actually clear the base. So how are we going to resolve that? Just grab a file and whiz a channel in this and then black it. Yeah, just get some aluminium black on it and recolour it, and there we go, be fine, all be good. Right, which bit first? Let's do the butt first. If only. Hey, if only. Once again, really getting fed up with this chuffing phone with this update that prevents me being able to turn the torch on while I'm filming. Real helpful. Thanks, Motorola. Great job. Anyway, there's some kind of real awkward posi drive screw that's got a horrible shaped head on it. That's my normal screwdriver. I usually use a Phillips for this sort of thing. Just didn't work with. So this is a fair old beast of a screwdriver I'm using here, and despite the tiny little head, this one seems to be working. I'll whiz the screw out and I'll show you what I'm talking about. There we go. There's the screw. So your normal sort of size Phillips head. Actually, it's not a great fit in there, as you can see. So yeah, you've got to go real monster, and then you got a good fit. See if I can read it. Has it got the size on it? It's a, oh you bastard, focus, there you go. Number 2 by 100mm. Number 2, that could sum up an awful lot of the guns in my collection, I tell you. But anyway, butt pad came off and we have a spacer. Why am I excited about a spacer? Well, if you saw my video fitting the butt pad to the HW77K, you'll appreciate why a spacer is a good thing. So yeah, great. We'll reuse that. And this, it's a shame really, seeing BSA on it. It'd be nice to have kept it, but anyway, in the bin. Okay, so taking the butt pad apart, and this is the piece that we're concerned with in terms of fitting it to the gun. So what have we got? Let's have a look. Right, how are the hole spacing looking? Okay, top one. Oh, look at that. Look, it's right at the bottom of the hole. How annoying is that? Because otherwise it really wasn't too bad. Just needs a little bit shaving off. Bottom, yeah, way out. Where's the hole? Where's the hole? Destroying my life. There's the hole. So, as always with these, you've got two choices. Do you use the bottom hole, or do you use the front hole? Or do you use a completely different hole because you're bored and you quite fancy a change? Sorry, I think I'm doing an inner monologue on 16 years of marriage. I can't even remember how long I've been married for. That says an awful lot, doesn't it? Ignore me. I'll edit all that out if I remember. Anyway, although that said, I've just realised if I do it like that, let's put this plate on the bottom hole there. That's quite a significant amount of metal I'm taking off up at the top. Oh, do you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Crack on, boy. Crack on. Stop talking. Right. I think I'm just going to check. Original screw. Where's my original screw? There's my original screw. It's the original screw here. The length of my new screw. About the same. Shouldn't present any issues. And here we go. Let's just hold it against the stock. Oof, God, that's close. No, actually, it's not too bad. Yeah. Right, just one thing actually I do want to bring up. Criticism of me testing out or giving a guide of what length of hole to drill or what depth of hole to drill compared to the screw. I use the whole length of the screw and maybe a little bit more as the depth to drill the hole. And people are saying, oh, why are you doing that? Because you're not using the whole length of the screw in the wood, are you? Because you've got the countersink. Yeah, but you've got to remember, if you only drill it to the exact length of the screw, you've got a real stress concentration down at the bottom of that hole, and you risk busting your wood. And you don't want to bust your wood when you're screwing into the bottom hole. Excuse me. You don't want to bust your hole when you're screwing. Let's ignore that part. Anyway, what I'm basically trying to say is drill the hole a bit deeper than you really need it. Always go for a deeper hole than you really need, because that way you're not going to break anything. And we'll just leave it at that. Okay? Yeah, wonderful. Thanks. Glad we got that cleared up. Next step. May remember from the 77k butt pad fitting video. Put yourself masking tape around the bottom of your stock. The reason for that is after you've fitted the aluminium plate to the stock, you're then going to draw around, and the last thing you want to do is go drawing with a Sharpie onto the plate of aluminium and get it on your wood, because you don't want Sharpie on your wood. I like to just overlap the masking tape just onto the end of the stock a little bit. Just prevents a bit of bleed through when you're using that Sharpie. So let's stick this on. Drywall screws are, of course, Phillips head. Right, so ignore everything I've just said. With it screwed into the bottom, there is very, very little room up at the top. So I'm actually going to, with a grating of gears, do a massive rewind and start again, because I'm an idiot. Simple as that. Don't be an idiot. One thing I am interested in though, yeah, look, the hole down at the bottom is also really no good, because it's far too close. So, what we're going to have to do, yeah, it's not going to work at all. I'm going to oval out these holes. That's the best way to do it. Use a file, oval out the holes, use a countersink in the pillar drill to chamfer the slot, and then I'll report back once that's done, because otherwise this is really not going to work. Let's make a start on this. So I'm going to take the top slot down to here. That's a guide hole for where my drill's going to go. And I'm going to take the bottom slot down to here. There's plenty of material left. Move that more central. There we go. There we go. Just going to bang, and this one. There we go. Right, the hole's marked out. Time to drill them. See what kind of mood the pillar drill's in. Is she noisy or is she quiet? Ooh, seems quite quiet. Build the hole slightly undersized to start with, so that then that acts as a decent guide for pulling the larger drill bit through. Because otherwise, if I went straight at it with the large size drill, you can see it would snag between these two holes. So what I'm going to do is, between these two tits on the plate tip things. So anyway, drill the hole this side, and then I'm going to flip it over, drill it out from behind, because I can't think of another way to put more innuendos into this video. It's my own fault. I'm talking about butts and screwing and stuff, so I'm bound to start twisting it because that's what we do. Right, so yeah, I've slipped and stabbed myself in the finger with my needle file. That might be why they're called needle files, because they have sharp tips that go into your finger like a needle. Never mind. Anyway, what I've done is, as you can see, drilled the hole, and then I've filed in between the two holes, and then used a flat needle file to just go in and basically smooth it all out and give myself a slot. So now to repeat that up at the top, I've actually drilled another hole, and as you can see it skipped and went a bit off centre. That really pissed me off, but never mind. Not the end of the world. If anybody's wondering how you do it, basically get your file in and line it up and file away. Yes, I know I'm going backwards and forwards. Yes, I know file strokes should be like this, but it's just so tedious. So I'm going to go like this because it's quicker. It makes me feel like I'm sawing it, which makes me feel better. Can it? Doesn't take long at all to go between. There you go, see? Already gone between. And yes, that really did piss me off that the drill actually jumped, and yeah, that pissed me off. Hey, that's what I get for using cheap drill bits. Oh, we're so close, look at that. You can see how long this doesn't take. There you go. Through. Now, flat needle file, and just smooth out the edges. I'm purposefully doing this real time because that way you can see how quick it is. If everything's time lapse, or if it's all done, and here's the next stage, and here's the next stage, you might think, well, I don't know how long that actually took. And it might put you off doing the job. Whereas if I actually show you real time just how quick it is, you might think to yourself, why am I paying a gunsmith to do this stuff for me when I could quite quickly do it myself? Because the thing is, these adjustable butt pads, they only cost about 20 quid to buy, but I bet you your average gunsmith would charge you sort of 25-50 quid to fit it. And let's face it, these needle files, go along to the pound shop or wherever, they're not expensive, and if you're only going to do a couple of jobs with them, it doesn't matter if they're not that great quality. They don't have to last forever, just long enough to do the job. And I showed drilling out the holes using the pillar drill. Just use a normal drill. Everybody's got a drill. And if you haven't, I'm sure one of your mates has. You may even find some local libraries are actually doing tool hire now, which is pretty cool. Ask, inquire about it. And don't forget to support your local libraries, because they are a statutory service. And the government wants to take them away, but they're great. Go along there, use the internet for free, print out at ridiculously cheap prices, saves buying your own bloody ink for your printer. Yeah, there's books there where you can actually learn stuff. I mean, I love learning. Don't know about the rest of you, I do. There you go. 2 slots. Not perfect, but they're slots. So now what we've got to do is get this chamfer all the way down the edge there. 2 choices. You can either file it in, which actually isn't a bad idea, or run a countersink or an oversized drill bit in your pillar drill, or your normal drill, just clamp it, and then run that through and just cut the chamfer into it. Either way, it's not a bad way of doing it. Let's see if we can do it actually. I've just said about it, let's see if we can do it. Right, I'm using an 8mm drill bit, and in the pillar drill I'm bringing the platform up until it's in the hole. There we go. There we go. I'm going to give that a go. This could either work or could be pretty horrible. Who knows? Who knows? But what I am going to do, I'm going to start the drill. Then I'm going to bring it up. Right, there we go. Okay, that's done a bit. Bit normie feels. Well, if those holes had been straight, that wouldn't actually have been that bad. Just going to take it a little bit deeper again, and then I'm going to call it a day at that. Yeah, a bit deeper, and try and pull it more to this side. Oops. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah. Once again, yeah, annoyed the holes weren't straight, but do you know what? Actually, that'll work. That'll work. Do the other hole. Just in case anybody was wondering what that was all about. It's all about that. Now we can reuse the old holes. And I know I said at the start of the video about maybe it not looking that great if we got chamfer up at the top, but not everywhere else. But to be honest with you, I think I'm gonna, oh, where have you gone? There you are. I think I am gonna roll with that. I'm gonna line it up at the top and then mark it out, because that actually gives quite nice hole positioning, as you can see. So yeah, we'll go with that. We'll roll with that. Pop the screw in, tighten her up, and mark it out. Yes, it also offends me that the screws aren't soldered. They will be in the final instance. This is just during fit up, so cut me a break, eh? Right then, Sharpie time. Draw around the outline there, hence why the masking tape is there, to protect the stock from the evil of the Sharpie. Draw around it, and that tells you what material you need to remove. And you can see just how non-central those holes were, can't you? Just how, yeah, it's gun manufacturers, just drill your holes centrally, eh? Come on, it's not that difficult, is it? Or is it because maybe the butt pads aren't central? I don't really know, but I mean, come on, really? It's not difficult, surely. in order to kid ourselves that this is actually some sort of engineering project, I'm going to use a blue Sharpie to try and imitate blue dye pen. There we go. Still can't get over how offensively off-centre that is. That's awful. Oh God. I thought that had slipped with the Sharpie for a second then and put a mark on the stock. It's not, it's the BSA logo. Oh, jeez. There's the outline. Going to need a bit of finessing. You can see again, yeah, I'm not that happy, but do you know what? I don't think it really matters that much because, yeah, it won't matter. Really won't matter. But yeah, it's not nothing's central, nothing's straight, nothing's straight. Are we allowed to say that? Going to get in trouble with YouTube. Quick chat at this point about files. What you want to ideally use is a file that's never actually been used on steel, because there's going to be little bits of steel in there and it's really going to rag up your aluminium, put real deep scratches in. This is sort of an intermediary file, that's pretty good. And then we've got a second cut file there, which is going to give you the final polishing around the outside before shifting to wet and dry sandpaper, just to give it that little bit, you know, surface beauty kind of thing. Yeah, shut up. Anyway, I am going to use this file, but I'm going to go nowhere near the edge of the line with that. Switch to that one so as I'm not putting deep scratches in, and then this one for the final finessing of it. Right, there we go, all filed up. This is the original plastic spacer that I've recovered. So there we go, lines up quite nicely. Try and fit it on the gun, and let's see if this actually slides up and down, or whether we need to cut a slot in this spacer to allow that to clear. I mean, it feels like it should be okay on this one. Maybe that's something peculiar to the gun tufts, I'm not 100%, but anyway. Let's see how we go. There we have it, trial fitted on the gun, and lays up and down quite nicely. Beautiful. Yep, very nice. Not 100% sure where I'm actually going to need it, so I'm actually just going to set it up straight for the moment. So, yeah. Oh, always helps when you bash it on the workbench. Yeah, it's not bad, not bad. Don't like the aluminium finish though, so I'm going to use some aluminium black on that. And yep. Otherwise, I mean, if you haven't got any aluminium black and you don't want to buy any, it works pretty well, you know, just saying. There we go, that spacer back again. I'm not going to be blacking that because it's already black. This bit, that's the bit we ground out, filed out, whatever. I've sanded the edges. Got it, not with that bit of sandpaper, something much smoother. Got it all nice, clean looking. Removed as many of the scratches as I could, but I've purposefully left it a little bit rough. In fact, I've said that. I will just use a bit of wire wool, just give it a little bit of a polish, a light polish. Don't want it too polished because the aluminium black I use doesn't tend to like an overly polished surface. Don't ask me why, don't know. Also, ideally start wearing gloves at this point, purely because I'm going to need to degrease this quite thoroughly before I use the aluminium black. If you start wearing gloves at this point, you're putting less sweat onto it, a bit less degreasing. Well, it's working quite quick. Wire wool, I tell you what, it's amazing just how abrasive it is, and yet how gentle on your skin. Yeah, okay, whatever. Other good thing about wire wool, if you're ever short of a firelighter, wire wool. I know, amazing. It works. Don't ask me why, it just does. Right, that's that bit. This bit, I mean, you could leave it aluminium as like an aluminium spacer, or take it apart. If you can find the screwdriver, here you go, a couple of screws, take it apart, pretty easy. One thing I will just warn you about, save your screws, and there you go, is this bit, don't lose that, rescue it, put it in your box of bits. There we go, your other plate, ready for degreasing, ready for blacking. I think I'll just polish the edges of that as well. Polish, yeah, just abrade them a bit less brushed. Right, degrease time. There's some of this Your Name Here brake cleaner. Spread into a cloth. Give it a wipe. Now I'm doing it this way on purpose. And I will then jet the product off. I will then jet the pad off in a second, just spraying the stuff straight onto it, but I quite like just giving it a wipe over first, the brake cleaner on a cloth. Maybe it's just me and I like touching things, I don't know. Anyway, ooh, grubby. Right, back side of the cloth. Don't waste your cloths and only use one side of them, you've got to use the back side as well. And let's do this one as well. A bit trickier trying to do these faces. You might have to settle for the edges, having a decent coat, and just see what we can do with the grids, because yeah, it could be a disaster, darling. We'll just have to see. I'm done. That's a bottle of meths there, I was thirsty. Don't drink meths, that's a joke. Right, give it a squirt. Joy of brake cleaner, it just evaporates, so you can spray it onto your worktop, it's not going to do any harm. This is marine ply, so the brake cleaner won't soak in and destroy anything. Right, dry bit of cloth, and a wipe. Right, let's see what kind of mood the aluminium black's in. Probably in its usual Barney, where it just doesn't want to cooperate. Oh, burst my glove. Bugger. Oh well, never mind. Right, this is the product I'm going to use. It does say is remove oxide. And let's face it, these faces are pretty... damn gloves. These faces are pretty oxidised, so I'm just going to grab my wire wool back. Let's see if we can get in there. Shine it up a bit. It doesn't like it smooth, but it likes it shiny. Shiny, shiny. Not really working, is it? That's better. Okay, that's worked pretty well. Yeah. Use a wire brush, brass brush, to remove the oxide. Perfect. Brilliant. Okay. Now what the instructions say is to use a saturated swab. Oh, childproof lid. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a lovely colour. Yeah, use a saturated swab apparently. Well, I don't have any swabs, so I'm going to use a saturated cloth. Oh, okay. It needs a bit more saturated than that. Ooh, starting. Yeah, it's kind of working. Kinda. I say I much prefer the blue for firearms, where you actually just dunk the product in there and leave it, because this is a bit fiddly on account of, yeah, not bad. Aha. Okay, well it's working. Apparently what you're supposed to do is leave it for a minute and then soak it with cold water. Although on a day like today, I could just leave it outside and let it get rained on. Honestly, the whole of Europe is experiencing a heat wave, and the UK is pissing it down. Fucking miserable weather. Thanks. I've just come back from Austria. First abroad holiday since 2016, I think. And the weather out there was fantastic, and the place itself was amazing. Let me know if you want to hear about it. I thought about doing a video, but then I thought people would just think, oh, that's really boring. I don't want to see that. But let me know. I did shoot some footage out there. Not much, but you know, enough to give you a flavour. Before anybody asks, no, I wasn't wearing lederhosen, and no, I wasn't shooting wild boar. Sorry, Lee, but no, I wasn't doing that. No, Mrs. V didn't wear any leather either. Well, she does look damn good in leather. Damn good. But anyway. Okay, well it's working. This bit's more successful. But yeah, that's pretty good. yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to go and rinse this with water, then I'm going to do another coat. And apparently you're supposed to let it dry overnight and then attack it with wax to protect the surface. I'll let you know how it goes. Well, this is what they look like after one coat, rinse, wipe clean, another coat, rinse, wipe clean, and what it says is to just use a soft cloth to just buff the surface. That also removes any excess of the blacking stuff, chemical. And you want to dab the face because it's still wet after being rinsed. Is it perfect? No, not perfect, but then again it's going to get abraded pretty quick. But is it a damn sight better than having the neat aluminium on show? Yeah, I'm going to say it is really, because yeah, it's not bad. But it's not bluing, it's blacking. So would this product be any good on a Denex replica to try and make it look like it's been blued, not blacked? No. Sorry, it doesn't look like bluing, it's blacking. Without a doubt. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Does anybody know of something that gives a blued finish on aluminium? I would be really interested to find out, because I'd absolutely love to refinish a Denex and make it look more realistic, but I'd say everything I've tried on aluminium, it's black, not blue. And I've tried searching for aluminium blue, and wow, there's some strange things come up, but nothing to do with what I'm actually looking for. Right, finish drying that off, pop it on the gun, and we're happy. Well, there's a butt pad on the gun, and I'm sure you'll agree, that looks so much better than having the aluminium on show. Yeah, really happy with that. That looks great. Yeah, really pleased. Nice one. Right, scope mount. Oh, this is the part I was looking forward to. Actually gets this gun up and running. So, scope mount. Pin goes into the arrestor hole, as you know. And that is then going to determine where the scope sits on the rail, which means then that's going to determine where we need to do the slot. So, get that fitted up and get it worked out. You join me in a minute. Magic of editing. Right, here's our optic, and it's a Richter optic. I know I cop a bit of flack for liking these, but do you know what? They work. More than can be said for a lot of other optics. They work. So, that's the problem. Exactly what I mentioned about. See, the scope saddle is rocking. Yeah, no bloody good. So, need to machine this. Where is that going to be? I haven't actually worked that one out yet. Basically, I'm going to work that out by putting it up in my shoulder, getting it so the crosshairs are focused, and then that will determine where the scope needs to sit horizontally, which will then tell me where my slot needs to be. Can't come any further back than that, because as you can see it's hitting there. I don't think that's where it sits anyway, but, well, we'll just see. Well, through sheer serendipity, the scope actually needs to sit there. It is close. My god, it's close to not actually fitting with this mount. That would be really annoying. But yep, so that's going to determine where our slot needs to be. You can see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the gun over, like so. Oh, you annoying bastard. Right, get some masking tape, pop it on the side, like so. Right, there we go. It is chucking it down outside now. Heat wave? What heat wave? I'm sure someone's probably going to comment about climate change and global warming and all that sort of stuff. Look, we're not a political channel, so please don't get me started on anything, or try and get me started, because, well, I'd rather not, and I won't respond. There we go. Right, that is back of the saddle. That's the front of the saddle. I'm calling this a saddle, and I called it there a saddle earlier. I just like the word saddle, it's great. 2 syllables. Wow. My vocabulary, I tell you, it's improving every single day. Okay, there we go. That's the basis. Time to work it out, mark it out, and start filing it out. There we go. There we go. Right, that's the channel to file out, and it looks like it needs to be sort of 2mm. I'm going to go down 3mm. I don't think that'll weaken anything overly. This is a bit of a pain, but fortunately I don't think it's going to cause too much of an issue because the deepest part is around here. So yeah, we'll just see how we go. Okay, there's the slut. Not very deep, granted, but it's deep enough. Wrong way around. Oh, no, that's the right way around. Dumbass. There we go. Yep, you can see that. Clears beautifully. Perfect. Nice one. Right, polish it up and then black it up. So here it is, all back together. Scope, yeah, you can see clears nicely. Butt pad, looking good with that black, yeah, happy with that. Yeah, I mean, times like this reminds me why I bought it. Because, let's face it, she's damn good looking. Let's face it, shoots pretty damn good too. So, I think that is the end of the road for the Lightning. No more jobs to do on her. She's pretty much perfect as she is.